You have the time of your life every single night. The confetti's raining down. You put your hands to the sky, center of the crowd. You're the talk of the town.
Hey y'all, it's me. I'm back. So, very special vlog. I'm doing this book tag that everybody's doing. I'm so excited about doing it. It's called the mid-year book tag, the mid-year reading wrap-up. It's not altogether a reading wrap-up for me, so I guess I'm gonna just call it my mid-year book tag. I'm excited. I've never did anything like this before. I am so excited to do this mid-year book tag that everybody is doing. So cheers to the mid-year book tag from Yolanda's Books. Y'all, so I have my little book journal note writing thing right here in my lap. So if you guys see me looking down, that is the reason why I am looking down, because I'm actually reading the questions from the mid-year book tag. So I'm not going to delay this because I'm already nervous enough as it is. But of course, you guys, please subscribe to my channel. As you know, I place a vlog on YouTube every Wednesday and Sunday. Now I'm trying to tighten up my, it was a struggle. Oh Lordy. Anyway, so of course y'all know that I put on a vlog every Wednesday and Sunday, along with things that I do on Instagram, TikTok, mostly Instagram. I guess I need to like start throwing stuff over there on TikTok as well as I do on Instagram. And you know, I communicate on my community tab. I do a few shorts, but Wednesday and Sundays here, 9 a.m. you know, all the things. So just subscribe, hit that bell, and just be here when I'm here. Cause we talk about books, we talk about all different kind of stuff, all we can on this channel. So, mid-year book tag. I'm gonna go through the questions. Of course, I got the questions off of, I think it was Khalila's page, down in her description box. So I am just going to answer the 11 questions that she had on her page, and I will link her page down below. You can go and you can check out her mid-year book tag. She is great, y'all. Like I am so excited to be able to communicate with this girl, Khalila D. I am so excited to be able to communicate with her. I have an upcoming vlog that she picked a read for me to read in this upcoming vlog that I am going to do. She responds to me when I message her. She is just so bubbly, so cute, so tiny. She is just a book girly. And Khalila, I really do love your page. I love you as a person because you're just all the things, girl. So you keep rocking the way you are. So the first question on this mid-year book tag is best book you've read so far in 2024. And I got all my books right here, y'all. And for me, I've read a lot of good books in 2024, but I'm just picking one because, like I said, this is my first time doing this and I am a bit nervous. So the first one that I choose, the book that I choose, is by Angie Thomas, The Hate You Give. I chose this book, The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. This book was really deep for me. Of course, like I told y'all before in my vlogs, is just basically about a girl named Star and a young man named Khalil. He was shot and killed by a police officer. They wanted justice for Khalil. They lived in a neighborhood where gangs were very active. Her father did not want, or they did not want her to know, people to know that she was like a star victim, a star witness in the case because of the gang related type situations that was going on around the town in their city. So she wanted justice for Khalil, but she just didn't want her face and name to be out there as that star witness. Like, a lot of people didn't even know that she was in the car with Khalil when Khalil was killed. And she has a brother named Seven. He was actually in the first book, Concrete Rose, where Maverick had to grow up and you know, be a man because he had a kid he had to take care of. But the love that this family had together and the things that the community did to come together as a community, even though it was like riot wise and stuff like that, it just really touched home. And I just really did enjoy reading this book. Best sequel you've read so far in 2024. For me, the best sequel that I have read so far in 2024 is the Hoop series by Kennedy Ryan. I think this was the first set first set of books that I read by Kennedy Ryan, and this series took me over the top with reading books by Kennedy Ryan. I really did enjoy The Long Shot the best. August became my book boyfriend, y'all, and I think this strap is just, or I done lost some weight in my shoulders or something, because this strap is just not cooperating. So when I first read this book, August became my book boyfriend. Like, I was just so in love with August in this book. But y'all, I'm gonna go ahead on and tell y'all now, in this set of books by Kennedy Ryan, always try to read the beginning of your books, because the author always try to give y'all some author notes to let y'all know, like, there might be trigger warnings in these books before you actually read them. And there are trigger warnings in The Long Shot, and the trigger warnings have something to, you know, do with domestic abuse. And there is a lot of heavy stuff in this book as far as abuse in all different directions. Have I read anything else by Kennedy Ryan? I'm actually on reading Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan, but the things that I have read in these books by Kennedy Ryan for the Hoop series have been so deep, y'all. These authors have such a brilliant mind. They have such a wondering mind, and they also, I see, loves to write the truth. So the Hoop Shot by Kennedy Ryan, the Hoop series by Kennedy Ryan, I really did enjoy reading this sequel in the year of 2024. Long Shot was the best. I did enjoy Block Shot and Hoop Shot. I just thought these two were kind of cute and had some, like, you know, some daily or things that just go on in ordinary life already. And I think, which one is it that, I think it's this one, Block Shot. I just like the way Banner, Gerald, I think that's his name. The way Banner, she just had some, when she grew up and everything, she just had some backbone about herself. And she just was not going to be treated any type of way by a man or in the business that she was in. And I just loved her spice and her compassion on who she was and who she knew she was in this book. So I really did enjoy that book. And Hoop Shot, this one is pretty much about, you know, like a basketball star. He was divorced, and then the girl that's featured in the Hoop Shot is actually Iris's cousin, the one that we see a lot in the Long Shot. She just kind of like found love, and it's just pretty much about a guy who was divorced. He has a child, which is a teenager. That child was suffering with the separation of her mom and her dad, but her dad actually found love in a younger person, and he just was not willing to let that younger person go just to satisfy the things that his daughter was going to and to satisfy his ex-wife's ego. And so he was very adamant that he wanted to do whatever he needed to do for his daughter, but he was also adamant that he was not going to let Lotus go. So I thought this was just such a cute book on just being wanting more for yourself, and you found love and you just did not want to give it up. So I did love the Hoop series by Kennedy Ryan. New releases you haven't read yet but want to. I only have one at the moment that, well, I have two, but one of them is also a book that I'm going to talk about later. But Curvy Girl Summer by Danielle Allen. This is a new release. It came out not too long ago, and I've heard Shaughnessy talk about this book so much, and I really want to read this book for the second, read this book as a new release for 2024. It's just pretty much about a girl who was a plus size girl, and she didn't have a boyfriend. Her family felt like, you know, it was time for her to have a boyfriend, and it felt, you know, they also felt like her size was like kind of allowing her not to get what she wanted in as far as a man. But she was like telling them like, I'm comfortable in my skin, I have a boyfriend, all the things that like kind of like pushed them out of her business and let them know like, hey, this is my business. So she actually went to a bar. A guy convinced her to get on a dating site, and she did that. But I think other than like finding somebody on that dating site, she actually became very fond of this bartender. She took him with her to show her family that she actually had somebody when she actually did not. This is pretty much like a fake dating trope. So I'm really very interested in reading Curvy Girl Summer by Danielle Allen. And Tommy Ediyami, her last book has came out, Children of Anguish and Anarchy. I am so excited to read this series. I have the other two books to this series, and I am just so excited to have this book in my possession. And this is also a new release that I want to read but have not read yet. Biggest surprise. And I don't even know what that question means. I guess I didn't write down the whole question, but when I'm looking at my page before, I have on here The Man Called Ovi and Into the Water. And what I know about those two books is that those were books that I just could not finish. Those were like my DNF books. So I'm hoping, I'm so embarrassed. I'm hoping that was what that question meant. I really don't want to get on my phone and like search for what that fifth question mean. But I did have two DNFs for the first half of the year of 2024, and that was A Man Called Ovi and Into the Water. They just did not do it for me, y'all. I tried to reread it. I listened while it was on audio, and I just did not like those books. I did not like those two books. So I'm gonna just move along to the next question because I really don't know what that question actually meant. I guess I just didn't write the whole question down. Favorite new author, or you know, like the author that's new to me. And I wrote down here for that question, Love is a Revolution. I don't have that book with me, so I will have to pop that book up in the up in the screen somewhere, because I actually loaned that book out to someone to read, which I love doing that. I love loaning books out for people to read because I just like for them to ask me, hey, do you have a book I can read? That author is Renee Watson. She is a new author for me, and I really enjoyed Love is a Revolution. It was just pretty much about, I hope y'all can see that. It was just pretty much about a girl, black girl, who was who I thought at first like wanted to fit in because she liked a guy from, you know, a revolution that was started, or, you know, in Harlem. But as the story went on, she actually wanted to be herself. She did not want to be somebody else just to fit in and just to have somebody to like her. And so she loved her natural hair. She loved her body size. She loved what she liked it to eat. And she just loved the person that she was overall as herself. And I just love books like that. And once she actually became the person that she knew she was in front of the guy that she wanted to date, that guy actually still wanted to be with her and loved her and liked her for who she was. So I really did enjoy that book because I like that kind of body positivity, knowing who you are, accepting who you are, and just loving yourself as who you are. And then, like I said, Renee Watson is a new author for me, and I really did enjoy that book. Although I don't think I've read any other books from her as of yet. So when I do go into bookstores or look on Goodreads, I will be looking for more books by Renee Watson. Moving right along, y'all. We're on question 7. It says newest fictional crush. And my newest fictional crush for the first half of 2024. When did I read the Hoop series? I want to say I read the Hoop series like toward the end of 2023. My newest fictional crush was the guy from Say You Swear by Megan Brandy. And it was Noah. Noah in this book was so sweet, y'all. I just talked about this book in my June wrap up. But Noah was so sweet. He was in love with Andrina, the girl that is in this book. And when he found out that she was actually in love with someone else, he wanted her to have what she wanted, be happy, even if it was not for him or with him. So when things popped up that, you know, involved for Chase to have her attention other than him, he was willing to let his feelings, you know, be put aside just to make sure that she was actually happy. And I just thought that that was just so romantic. I thought it was just so heartfelt because not too many people put their feelings before themselves. It's like, to me, it's like people will be like, either you and I are going to be together or we're not, you know, I'm not doing anything. I'm not waiting on you. I'm not being, you know, that second person. No, none of that. But Noah was not like that. Noah was like, he was telling her like, well, okay, I understand if you choose to be with Chase. I do understand, but just know that I am here for you. Like, I do love you and I will always love you. I will be here for you. You know, like that type of thing. And I just thought that that was just so cute. And my heart just went out to him so bad toward the end of the book when what happened. And the way Andrina felt or whatever about him after, you know, that scene. I don't want to give that away. With her path was blurred by something that happened. And it says right here in the book, even though their path is blurry, and even when tragedy strikes, even when Ari doesn't know her own heart, Noah fights for the feelings he knows they both have, no matter what it might cost them. So, y'all, he just really melted my heart, and I just thought he was just the perfect boyfriend. So my fictional crush was Noah from Say You Swear by Megan Brandy. On to the next question. It says book that made you cry, and I said The Mixtape by Brittany Cherry. The reason why, this was the first book I read by Brittany Cherry, by the way. But the reason why I said that this was the book that made me cry was because Emery in this book, the part that really just irked my heart, just teared me up, was the parts that Emery was going through with her mom and her dad and her sister. Like, her family was just so evil, so, I just can't believe their mom and dads. And then the situation with her sister, like how she just seemed like she was brainwashed, how she just wanted the approval of her mom and her dad, how she just felt like she could not live without her mom and her dad, how she would, like, you know, throw Emery to the side, don't care about how Emery feel, lie to Emery, all the above. And just the way her mom talks to her, the way her dad reacted toward her, it was just so heartbreaking for me because I wasn't raised in a family like that. I wasn't raised with my father, but I was also raised with a mom that really loved and cared about me. And just listening and reading the things that Emery's parents said to her and how they treated her and the things that they tried to do to her physically, not pretty much, well, physically, emotionally, it was just over the top, all terrible, terrible. And I just could not, at some points handle like how she was being talked to and how she just was not loved by her family. And then like my heart just went out to Oliver when he lost his twin brother Alex, and just the way he just could not get himself together until he met Emery. So yeah, The Mixtape by Brittany Cherry. Next question, book that made you happy. And I said Only for the Weak by Natasha Bishop. I don't know if you guys have read this book or not. If you have not read Only by the Weak by Natasha Bishop, I suggest you put it on your Amazon wish list. Go on Amazon, order this book, see if somebody have it so that you can read this book and read this book. First time I read anything by Natasha Bishop, and this book just had me giddy. It had me happy. It was just such a happy read. It was just pretty much about two sisters. One had been dating this guy, didn't work between them, so the actual other sister started dating this guy, same guy, and she was actually about to get married to this guy. They went off to Tulum. I think it was Tulum. It was Tulum. They went off to Tulum for the wedding, and during that time, her sister, which is the one that was dating the guy first, I think her name was Janelle. She was like everything for her sister. Everything for her sister to be happy. Everything for her sister not to cry. Everything for her sister to get what she wants. And her mom was the same way when it came down to her sister and Janelle. So Janelle had a really good relationship with her father. She didn't have a really good relationship with her mother. So during the time that they were in Tulum, Janelle met Rome. And Rome, well, they knew each other, but they, seen each other in Tulum. And the chemistry, the sex scenes, how Rome reacted toward Janelle. Even down to the outfits that they said Janelle had on, the body markings that Janelle had, and just the way how Janelle was just so happy being able to be with Rome and Rome to be with Janelle. This book made me so stinking happy. And when Janelle actually stood up to her sister and stood up to her mom, it just made me even more happy. I was like, go girl, you do your thing. So Only for the Weak by Natasha Bishop was the book that made me happy. Moving right along, it says most beautiful book you've bought so far this year or received. And the book that I felt like was the most beautifulest book that I bought so far this year, that's right off the top of my head, is Tony Amietti. This last book that she had, Children of Anguish and Anarchy. All the covers of her books are stunning. I just love the way, whatever the tribal theme is about this book. Pretty much like on each one of her books, she has herself a black lady on the cover, and she has some kind of tribal stuff over her face or on her head. And the covers are just stunning, y'all. I just feel like these covers that she has on her books just really sold her books, really make people want to receive, buy, read her books. So it'll be Tony Amietti, Children of Anguish and Anarchy, that series. But I just received this book and I love the cover of this book. And Children of Blood and Bones and Children of Virtue and Vengeance. This is the Children of Blood and Bones, and this is the Children of Virtue and Vengeance. Y'all, just look at those covers. I just love it. I just love it. Next question, and the last question, y'all, is what books do you need to read by the end of the year? And those books happen to be on my July TBR. And it is the Boys of Tomlin series and Twisted Love series. I just have to get to these books. I love the way people talk about the Boys of Tomlin series. They say that these books are so heartfelt. They are written so well. They will make you want to read the next book because you want to know what happened between this character or that character. And they just said, Yolanda, you will really love this series. So I am going to read these two in July, and before the end of the year, I will make sure I read the rest of the books that's in this series. And also the same for Twisted Love and Twisted Games. I hear so much about Anna Hong, that she's such a good writer. Even my girl Kalila D, she said that she's her favorite author. And if she is her favorite author, I know her words, her books got some very high expectations behind them. So I will read these two. And I don't have the other books on my shelf, but I will either read them on Kindle Unlimited or I will actually buy the books myself. But when I actually, even though these are old, and I actually had these on my shelf for quite some time, when I read the back of the book to give you guys a synopsis of, you know, the book that I'll be reading in July, I was like, oh my God. All this time I've been looking at these books, passing by these books, not reading these books. I don't know what the heck I was thinking. They seem like they're gonna be so stinking good. So excited about that. All right, guys, so that is question number 11, and that's the end. That is the end, y'all. This seemed like it was very short, and I'm sorry. But like I said, I was very nervous. I tried to think these questions through according to the books that I have already read or the books that I want to read. Hopefully next year when I do this book tag, mid-year book tag challenge again, I will feel so much more confident, so much more comfortable, and I'll just, you know, really enjoy it, which I really did enjoy it today, because regardless, I always love talking to you guys. But guys, Wednesdays and Sundays, I will see you guys in the next vlog. Bye, guys. I am on my fantasy kick, so I am currently reading A Court of Thorns and Roses. I've read book 1. Fairy and Tomlin, I'm liking their little relationship already in the first book. And Fairy, she inadvertently killed a fairy, and now she has bordered into the fairy and human world. And a lot of people say that they had a hard time with the Court of Thorns and Roses. It was kind of hard to get into unless you're toward the end of the book. I really did enjoy the book, so this is my next read in the series, A Court of Mist and Fury. Happy reading.